In this video, we're going to take a quick look at a few options in the Insert menu when we are making a Google slide deck. You will have to investigate and experiment with each of these more on your own. So in my first slide here, I could click in the title to put my own title here. But I think I want something more exciting, so I'm going to select and delete that text box. And in the Insert menu, I am going to try Word Art. And it gives me a small text box here, title of my speech. And if I wanted another line, I would have to use the Shift and the Enter key, because if I just hit the Enter key, like I just did, it inserts the word art and it gives me a default font, color, size, so I can change the font. I would like to have the fill color of my font, and this is not going to be attractive, but it's very visible on video, so I'm going to choose yellow for my fill color, and I'm going to choose red for the border color. You notice you don't need a border, you could do transparent. There's all sorts of options. And you can make your outline color the size you want. Word art is an image, so I can resize it. I can change the aspect ratio, and we can use the option to rotate. So it is a nice option if you want to put some word art on top of an image, for example. There is format options that give you more choices. So for example, a drop shadow behind your image and reflections and so on. I'm going to close that format options and move on to something else so you can experiment with word art. On my next slide, I'm going to choose this layout, and I'm going to say watch and learn. And one of the excellent things about Google Slideshow, since YouTube is a Google application, I do not even have to make a video ahead or know what video. If I choose Insert Video, then it gives me a choice. That's the last time I did a sample video here. So if I knew already the URL address of my video, I would just put it in. If I had a video at my drive, I could load it from there, or the search is going to search through YouTube. So I had searched for elephant before, so let's stick with that. And this is a nice short video, so I'm going to select it. I could preview it right here first, but it's selected, so I could just hit the select button and it comes in as an image, so I can drag it around when it's selected. I can grab the corner to resize it. I could, since it's like any other graphic image, I could put a border around it. I can change the color of that border and so on. All nice. When I'm actually running my slideshow, then it'll have a play button for me, or we can investigate. When the video is selected here, if I choose format options, I think this video playback was open because I used it the last time I was there. But video playback, these other options you can experiment with also, but video playback is very handy. During a class presentation, you probably aren't going to show an entire video, but you might say, I want to show from 10 seconds to 1 minute 5 seconds. So it gives you the option of showing just a part of the video. It gives you the option to have it autoplay, which means as soon as you get to that slide, it would immediately start to play the video, as opposed to you having to click. So you'd have to choose your preferred option during your presentation. And if you wanted to speak live, if you wanted to show the video to show a process, but you wanted to be explaining it to your audience, then muting the audio of the video would be a very good option. So choose the options that you wish to play a video when you are viewing your slideshow. And let me add one more slide here. And let's investigate. Let's investigate what diagrams do from the insert menu. You don't need a text box here, by the way. I didn't need that at all. Insert, and let's look at diagram options, and it opens a frame of choices, and these are so handy. When students first look at it, they think these are their only choices, but each of these is a menu of choices. So, for example, if I want a grid, notice that it gives me all these different formats. Look that they each right now have 3 levels. So before you insert, think what you want to put in there. So it will adapt each of those for as many levels as you want. I'll go back to 4, and you have some colored choices. And once you have your format, you can just choose the one you want. So I just double clicked, and each of these is a text box. So then you do your editing. So very quickly you have a much more professional slide than you would probably do on your own here. Let's do another blank slide and show you one more here. So if I use the back arrow, this time I could put in a hierarchy chart, and notice those are your options. I'll go back and look at the others. Students might often have to put timelines into a presentation. So look at the very nice options you would get here. And again, notice the number of dates you could change. It's somewhat adaptable. We could look at cycles. And again, the number of levels. Watch if I change to 4. And if I pick one of these, then once you have the object here, then you could come back and edit it. So you could change sizes and do a lot of editing if you want to move the whole thing or do something with the whole thing. Remember to use select all. So Control A would select everything. So you'll have a lot of fun if you experiment with the insert menu in Google Slides.